Tonight's the night. And it's gonna happen one time at a week.
Has to happen.
Considering the fact that the Dexter hype train has blown up due to a certain app, I have decided to put my own 2 cents into the matter. Which is why I have decided to waste my time and recap the first season. I'm gonna be honest, season 1 probably is the best season out of the entire series. Nothing really comes to match this. Everything down to the ice truck killer and the side stories. I don't think I'm gonna get into the side stories as much, but they are pretty interesting as well. It just does a good job introducing every character in their own way, you know what I mean? Okay, so the first few episodes really give us an insight to the main character, Dexter, and the set of rules that he has set by his father, Harry. We follow Dexter as we see him take out his first victims of the series. Then we meet his love interest, Rita, and to be honest, Rita really is the goat of the series, and it goes to show throughout the time you watch it. Okay, so back to the story. As we see Dexter living his fake life, something happens that interrupts both his fake and his secret life. The ice truck killer. We see that the ice truck killer actually knows who Dexter is and where he lives, and Dexter thinks of it as some game that he wants to play with him. Dexter accepts this invitation as he thinks it would be fun to have finally someone to play with. So, as Dexter and the ice truck killer keep playing each other's games, his sister Deborah starts dating some dude named Rudy. Now, Rudy works at a hospital making prosthetics for amputees, or anything of that matter. And this Rudy guy is really suspicious considering the fact that he has this strange obsession with Dexter himself, and wants to meet him really bad. Later on, Dexter gets a call from the hospital saying that his biological father has died. But Dexter doesn't think it's true as his adoptive father, Harry, told him that both his parents died in a horrible accident. Him, Rita, Deborah, and even Rudy all plan to clean out his father's house and sell it because there's no real reason to keep this stranger's house. We then realize that Dexter's father had died a very suspicious death without any answers. We then later discover that it was Rudy that killed him, and who would have guessed? As the police station starts to get closer and closer to who the ice truck killer really is, Rudy starts to make some mistakes and almost gets himself caught. Eventually, after some detective work, Dexter realizes that Rudy is the ice truck killer. Now that the truth has been set free, Rudy takes the opportunity to kidnap Dexter's sister, Deborah, and keep her as a hostage of some sort, causing Dexter to start hunting Rudy down. The clues eventually led Dexter down to this familiar-looking house. We then come to realize that this house was Dexter's old childhood home before he was adopted. Rudy then reveals himself to be Dexter's brother named Brian, and Brian wants Dexter to run away with him. But Dexter has already gotten too emotionally attached to the people around him. This argument leads Rudy to knock Dexter unconscious and drag him down to this room, to where his sister Deborah is kept strapped down and ready to get got. Rudy still tries to get Dexter on his side and gives Dexter one more chance to prove himself by getting rid of his sister. One moment of emotional realization, Dexter realizes that he really does care about the people closest to him and fights Rudy for both Deborah's and his own freedom. Eventually, the police track down the place and Rudy escapes. A while later, Rudy comes back to Dexter's apartment to finish the job, but it was all a mistake as Dexter was waiting for him all along. Dexter then takes out his only blood-related family member and has left many questions for himself and his father, Harry. If you made it this far, I just wanted to thank you for sticking with this video for so long. I know it's not the best quality, but it's my first video, so cut me some slack. Okay, now it's time for the nitty-gritty of this video, my review. Like I've said in the beginning of this video, I think this season is the best season, which might stray people away from the rest of the show, but it's not like the rest of the seasons are trash. The episodes do feel long at some points, I'm not gonna lie, and some of the stories feel unnecessary and useless to the plot. Other than that, this is a really solid season with great storytelling. I don't think any other season has this type of mystery around the main serial killer. And it really gives you a sense of surprise when they do show who the ice truck killer is, without spoiling who it is in the first episode. Like, who would have guessed that this dude Rudy was the ice truck killer? Low-key, using my detective skills, I knew who it was before they revealed it, but I'm just good like that. I also really like Deborah this season. She seems like she genuinely cares about Dexter. And she's just a really likable character in general this season. Speaking of likable characters, we have Rita. Rita really is just to go to the show.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the enemy. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
And possibly the best girlfriend character out of any fictional movie or show in my opinion. The way they tell of her backstory and even her having her own thing with moving on from her past and becoming stronger and her own person brings the whole thing together, making her one of the best characters in the entire show. Then we have Dexter. Dexter is an extremely complex character, but as of now you can tell he's broken in some sort of way and uses his victims as some sort of therapy for himself. Dexter and the set of rules that he has really sets himself away from the other serial killers of his world and ours, as he carefully chooses each one of his victims and leaves no trace of them after. The show wouldn't be where it is without the way they wrote his character, and you just have to give props to the writers and directors, even Michael C. Hall for giving life to the character and making it believable. One real side story that I liked was the one about Rita's ex-husband. In this one, we get to see Dexter defend Rita from her ex-husband as he starts to threaten her life and the life of her children, as he blames her for one of his own mistakes. This storyline shows that Dexter really does have a caring side. Even if it isn't a big part of him, it's still very present, even after Dexter frequently stating he has no emotions for anyone or anything. Another story I really like is Batista's story with his ex-wife and his daughter, because it shows him trying to get back at his own 2 feet after he made a couple mistakes in the past, like cheating on his wife, which is like unjustifiable, but he's still trying to like make up for it, you know what I mean? In further conclusion, thank you for watching this video to the end. I know the editing is kind of dog, and so is everything else, but like I said, it's my first video, and I would really appreciate it if you would like and consider subscribing, as I'm just starting off my YouTube journey. And if this video gets at least like 10 likes, I'll go text my crush something. Thank you, and goodbye.